Hey, welcome back to the channel. So wanted to do a review here real quick, kind of a comparison. And ever since I got these Indy boots by Alden, the original Indy boots, the 405s, there's some things I just wanted to kind of point out. And what I have over here, these are the Lousjiet Indy boot. I think they're just called the Indiana Mock Toe, I think is what they're called, or something like that. What I wanted to kind of go over was, when I first got these Lousjiets, I got these first, and I saw a couple QC problems. The main one being, I want to say it's this one here. If you look at these speed hooks, the first one here looks fine. The second one's like out of alignment here. This next one looks okay, that one looks fine, but this one here looks like it's inward more and kind of not really aligned with the other ones. So I was like, shit, I don't really like that. And if you're looking at the stitch here, the stitch looks amazing. Nothing wrong with the stitch. This one here looks pretty round. This one here looks a little more, I don't know. It's hard to tell now, but this one looks a little more like straight or squared off there compared to this one. I know they do this stuff by hand, but when you're wearing them, you can really tell the difference. So that was kind of my pet peeve on these. But you know what? For 200 something bucks, I'll tell you, the Goodyear welt, 270 degree Goodyear welt on this thing is flawless. If you look at that, the stitch is so tight, so close, so nice all the way around. And these are all handmade. They're all leather uppers, lowers, all that. I mean, they're really done very well for $200. So this is probably the best copy of a Indy boot, flat out. They're lined on the inside, leather footbed, all that. They're very, very nice. So the soles on them, this is what the sole looks like. And something I want to point out, I know there's no extra, leather in this heel or anything. It's just a rubber heel, but see how it looks straight? You see that? It's just straight across. There's no step. There's nothing. Look at this. This is on my Alden Indy. This is my $800 pair of boots. There's a step here. See that step? So this is a, I'm learning about boots still, but I know that this is this is like a leather piece in between these, and I'm not sure it's real leather. It's probably leather board or something else. But if you see that, it wasn't finished straight across. This sticks out. This rubber block sticks out. And if you look on the other side, they actually did a better job finishing it. See how it goes straight? So I'm like, okay, what the hell? That kind of bothers me. So I looked at the other boot, and it's a little better here, kinda, on the left or on the right boot. And then if you look here on the outer part of the right boot, look at that. It's actually worse than the left boot. Now that doesn't really matter. It's not gonna do anything on the way, you feel when you're walking or any of that stuff. It's not gonna change anything. It's just looks. This shouldn't have passed QC in my opinion. So now if this really irritates the hell out of me, I need to take it to a cobbler and have that like sanded down to where it's even, because that just doesn't look right to me. It's got like a little ledge under there. So another thing, I don't want to make this too long of a video, but the stitching on the Aldens are pretty decent. It's pretty decent. I don't really see an issue. What I do see is if you look at the welt and you look at the stitching, pretty much like here it looks a little shitty, but where it starts here and it goes all the way around, it seems pretty decent. You get over here in the front, actually this boot's better than the other one, but you can see some of those stitches are a little frayed there. Does not look like that on the Lousjiet. The Lousjiet is absolutely perfect. You go all the way through here, you can see where they kind of continued. I know the lighting's not really that good, but you can see where the stitching got all wonky right there, and then they stitched onto the heel there. I don't know what that's all about. But if you look at the Lousjiet, it it's perfect all the way around. And I think what happens is it may have been stitched perfectly, you know, at Alden. And from what I've read is sometimes when they sand them down, they sand a little close. When they sand this area down, you know, when they're doing all that, they sand a little close, and then they mess up the stitches. So if you look up this one I don't like. See how those stitches, they look real good here, and then they look good over here, and then they're all beat up right here. I don't like that. For an $800 pair of boots, I don't like that. I think that's bullshit, honestly. And I hope somebody from Alden maybe watches this or, you know, sees what's going on with their QC, because their QC sucks. You know, I like these boots. I really do like the boots. I'm not going to knock the boots. These things are super comfortable. They're actually more comfortable than the Lousjiets. The Lousjiets are pretty comfortable. They're not bad. But these Aldens are more comfortable. They're good looking. I like the leather. Someone tried to say that the leather looks like plastic. It doesn't look like plastic to me. They're going to wear in. They're going to patina real nice. This leather they use is like an Austin leather, I believe, which is like sanded down. You know, I'm pretty sure it's painted or something, but it's a nice leather. It's a nicer leather. It's not. I don't believe this is a calf skin. I don't think it is, but it is a nicer leather. If you look, even these speed hooks are a little wonky here. One sticks out a little bit further than the other one. Maybe I need to push it back in. But yeah, I mean, and you know, shit, if you look at this, look at that stitch on the top. This one, it looks like it should have went out a little bit further here, like come out like that. This one here looks better, and it looks different than this one. It's so funny. I have the same issue with these shoes. So I guess this is hard to do. I don't know. I'm not a bootmaker, but I guess it's hard to do. So anyway, that was just one of my comparisons. I don't want to sit here and rant all day long, but you know, shit. Does it? Can you really justify, you know, an extra $600 for these compared to having these? I mean, really, honestly, this is a real nice color too. This brown and this leather is really nice. Yeah, they're made in China. Most likely you're watching this from a device made in China. So I don't think that really matters so much. You know, I believe in free markets, capitalism, all that stuff. I'm in sales myself, and I believe in all that. So if they can make a good product and sell it, and we can get our hands on it here in the United States, I'm all for it. These aren't made in a sweatshop, so I'm not really worried about that. But, you know, these are really nice boots for the money. They really are. I almost kick myself in the ass now, because now that I have these, I'm going to wear these because they're Indies, and I want to wear them in. I want to wear them out. I want to fuck them up, honestly. I want to wear them out. But now you got these nice pair of boots just that are going to be sitting here. So I'm going to have to try to still employ these here and there. I don't want to sell them because I like them. I love the look of them. They're very nice. They are comfortable also. Yeah, so Alden, they need to pick up their game. They make a boot called the Tanker boot. That's a Norwegian split toe, and I am not going to buy them. I love the look of the boot, but I'm not going to buy them because their quality control sucks. So what I'm going to do is Grandstone makes the Ottawa boot, which is just like the Tanker. It looks identical. It has a storm welt. It's a really nice looking boot. I'm going to get a pair of those, and I think that'll satisfy my itch for a split toe. But yeah, so, you know, I mean, buyer beware on the Aldens. For me, it was a rite of passage. It was, you know, I wanted it, you know, because I've been collecting boots. I've been buying a lot of boots. I'm like, you know what? I have to get a pair of Aldens, and it has to be the Indy boot. That's it. It has to be the 405 because that is the original. So that's why I bought it. I've been watching Indiana Jones since I was a kid, been watching these boots and, you know, different variants for years now. So it's like that's only fitting for me. And maybe for you, it's different. Maybe it's not the same. So if you're looking for just a good quality boot for a lot less money, pick up the Lousjiets. If you're like me and you want that old school Alden boot, then buy these. You're just going to pay more. So, and you're not going to get the quality. But anyway, I've been buying more Red Wings lately. I've got a pair of Red Wing, black Red Wing with some really nice like commando soles. They're mock toes. I got seconds actually off of the Sierra website. So once those come in, I'll do a website, or I'll do a review on those. That's my first factory seconds I've ever purchased, but they looked really good. They're called the rough out, I think, or roughneck. They're called the roughneck mock toe. I can't remember the model number, but they do have, they are black, oil slick leather black. So we'll check those out. Also, I found a used pair of 9014 Beckmans, Red Wing Beckmans, the old school ones. And these things are like brand new. They look great. So those will be coming too. And I wanted a plain toe service style boot. So I went for the Beckman. I didn't want a blacksmith. I didn't want an Iron Ranger. I don't like cap toes. So, and I didn't want to go spend $800 or something on some Nicks or some, you know, Shermans or whatever from Whites or whatever. So I wanted to stick with Red Wing. I'm getting good luck with Red Wing, and I'm spending, you know, anywhere from $200 to $400 for good Red Wings, and they haven't let me down yet. So anyway, so stay tuned. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.